Hey everyone, I came out for a little bit of a jog and now I'm taking a shortcut through this kind of like little park area that is by my apartment. And I just thought I'd make a real quick video here while I'm walking this section to sort of talk. I think you can hear the dog barking. Let me just pass this section real quick. So it's kind of interesting. If you look, there's it's a park and there's a lot of trees and greenery and things, but it's right behind a residential area. So I'm gonna walk through. And so yeah, like I said, I just wanted to make this video real quick while I'm walking because I wanted to talk a little bit about some things that are on my mind about reading and the COVID-19 outbreak and how most people, I think, in the world right now are probably staying at home. And I think I mentioned in a previous video that Barnes & Noble booksellers is doing this thing where you can drive up to their window or to their curb and get curbside service. You order your books online. And it got me thinking about the importance of reading during this time period. See, I've always read, and I'm sure you have too, that reading has been in decline. And that's no surprise. I mean, maybe I'm hanging out with a certain sect or a certain, type of person. Maybe it says something about the type of people I hang out with, but I think it's more indicative of the rest of the population that most of the people I know don't read. They used to read. They do admit to loving to read, but they just don't read anymore for whatever reason. As we've gotten older, we've gotten away. So I know very few readers, avid readers like myself. And that to me is really interesting, especially in the context of COVID-19, because I think that essentially what we're seeing here, or one thing that we are seeing with this outbreak, is that it's forcing people to go internal. It's forcing them to kind of retreat into their homes and take a pause, take a break. I'm gonna stop here and sort of just admire the beauty so you can see, it's just this long sort of strip of nature. And of course the houses are the backyards are right here. And then it goes all the way through that area and feeds back out into the street. But while I'm here, I just wanna talk to you guys. But yeah, so do you know what I'm saying? Do you know, is what I'm saying making sense? That I think people are sort of having to pause their lives for a little bit and take a breather. It's forcing people to kind of sit at home alone, maybe bored, and it's forcing people to go internal. I think so much of our lives these days, with technology being what it is, with cell phones and our connectedness to everything, we live our lives on an external level. We don't really take time collectively as a society, as a culture here in America to sort of pause and go internally, just to reflect on our feelings and our thoughts and our boredom. I mean, I've heard it so much, actually. I'm bored at home. I've even said it myself, like, oh, I'm bored. But the boredom doesn't kill you. Boredom will not kill you. No one's ever died from boredom. In fact, boredom, I think if you just kind of sit with it for a while, you get through it. And you enter sort of like a meditative state, actually, when you sit with your boredom, I think, has been my experience. And so this sort of like reflective internal state of being, even if it's just temporary right now, I think books play a big part in that internal journey. Because a book is reading is a solitary act in many respects. I mean, you do it by yourself usually. It's something that you are doing alone, unless even with audiobooks, someone's reading to you, but it's your own journey with the book. And it causes you to think, it provokes thought, it provokes internal dialogue, and that's an internal journey. So I don't know if COVID-19 and this whole pandemic is going to, I do believe that what brings out the worst in people can also bring out the best. I do believe that there can be some good that comes out of all of this. I hope there's good that comes out of all of this in the midst of all the terrible things that are the death and the fear and all of that stuff that's going on. I mean, just it's all around, and that's terrible. The economy, there's so many big question marks up in the air, so much anxiety. But if there's a chance for something good to happen, particularly around this sort of movement of people taking some time to sit at home, be with family, reflect, think, meditate, feel, go out into nature, read a book, then I think all of that is part of the same journey. And it's a really important one because I think it's so far removed from the way we usually live life, which, like I said, is external. So I wonder what this is going to do for the book industry, for the publishing industry, for booksellers around the world. I wonder what it's doing collectively to our culture, that there are people that are reading now, but people that might not have taken the time to pick up a book in different circumstances, and now they are. I know I'm reading more. I do read all the time, but I know right now I'm really kind of going through the books because, it's rather than watch Netflix or Hulu or whatever, I think that I prefer to kind of sit with a book and just read through as much as I can. I'm taking advantage of this opportunity, and that might sound a little like selfish considering people are dying right now, but personally I do seek to engage with the community and give back what I can in the form of volunteer time and stuff. But I think for me personally, I want to use this time to reconnect with myself on that level, on that internal level, in a way that we can't do in our daily hectic lives, in our hectic schedules. We're not afforded that opportunity, and now we have it. So it's just interesting to me. I hope what I'm saying makes sense, and maybe you can relate to it. If that's something that you can relate to, please comment below and tell me sort of how how life has changed for you personally, how maybe you can relate to kind of that internal journey and taking a pause, taking a break, and going within, and maybe a book has helped you do that. Maybe books do help you do that, and if so, I'd love to know about it. So that's all. I had that on my mind as I was going on my run. But as you can see, I've sort of made my way through this park. There's the road right there, that area right here, that's the exit, and then I get out and I'll run that way down the road back home, and back to my books, back to social distancing, which for now is perfectly fine for me. So happy reading, everyone, and enjoy your evening. Thanks.